Hey guys, welcome back to another Military Monday. So today I'm doing an interview with Parker. Parker is a US Marine that is about to get out of the Marine Corps and start civilian life. Myself and Parker met a few years ago playing PlayStation of all things, and we've stayed in touch every now and then since when I moved over to PC there about a year ago nearly. So Parker's decided to come on and tell his story about his time in the Marines, what he's done. I even have some footage here of him actually. He's not a pilot; he is a aircraft technician. Him just flying around, him looking at the helicopters and everything else that he was working on. So I hope you enjoyed the interview, guys. If you'd like to see more, just leave a comment below, and we'll see you in the next one. See you then, guys. So I suppose we'll start off with basically your branch, your rank, and what you did.
So I was in the United States Marine Corps. I am currently a corporal, that is the E4 in the Marine Corps. I was a 6324, that is my MOS, my field that I actually got coded into, and I worked on Hueys and Cobras.
Nice. It's glad to hear someone still calls them Hueys and Cobras. I thought I was old when I kept calling that, and lads were like, they're not Hueys and Cobras, they're Venoms and this, and I was like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah, we So usually whenever like we're in the squadron or whatnot, we just say Yankees or Zulus.
Right.
Because in the actual title of it is UH1 Yankee, AH1 Zulu. And so whenever we just say, I'll go to that Zulu over there, or go to that Yankee over there, maybe like that, or we'll actually use because the helicopters, they actually had their identification number on it, so it could be like 112 or 10 is anything that was above 30 was mainly like a Zulu bird, and then anything below that was going to be a Yankee.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we usually just like identified it. And so I'll go to we called it 00 is always like a squadron's like showbird.
Okay.
So whenever like you go into like air shows or whatnot, you'll always see like a showbird that's there. It's usually 00. It's their like most painted helicopter or like let's say plane or whatnot.
And like equivalent to like the Blue Angels or any of them sort of
Yes.
flight groups.
Yeah, almost exactly like that, except we're not as fancy.
Poor Marine Corps and the Navy budget.
Yeah, but we I don't know where I was gonna go with that. Whatever.
You're out now, that's the problem.
I know, I am out now. I don't know what to do really. I had like so much free time that I just don't know what to do with my free time.
Yeah. Because you could always probably like your right. So go the code, right? So 03. What was your code for mechanics?
So aviation technician is what my job was.
Yeah.
And that code, the MOS code,
yeah,
is 6324.
Yeah.
Now there is actually there is other MOS codes which you can look them up on Google. There's a whole set list of like every like U.S. military MOS codes.
Yeah.
Like infantry, I think infantry for Army is like 11 Bravo or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen an awful lot of them videos where people were trying to say that 11 Bravo or Bravo in general was oh, that's where they put poor kids in to go off and die in war. I'm like, oh, shut up, Jesus Christ, just be quiet. Yeah. Like, but no, yours was an aircraft technician. So basically, you worked on the helicopters, the Huey and the Cobra. I'm saying it, don't give a shit who comes in going, they're actually not called that. But yeah, that was you. Like.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
yeah,
but that was you. You kept them basically up in the sky, for pilots.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the time, our jobs, we can get down and dirty. As soon as you like go inside these helicopters, it's just like black gunk in some spots, and like you have to like try to keep it as clean as you can, but it's insanely difficult to do it because it's like hard to reach spaces that most of the time you have to like work in there,
Yeah.
and uh, if you're not like getting dirty or whatnot, working inside the bird, if you're like down below, like let's say you're working on something that has to deal with fuel. Not now I'm just like getting like fuel all over my back and like in my hair.
Yeah.
And like with so with my job specifically, we have different shops
Okay.
within a squadron, of course. So you have your airframes, you have your flight line, you have um, avionics as the big main three
Hmm.
shops, and you have your other like little side shops that they're not as big, but they're still somewhat important
Yeah.
for the actual helicopters. But with ABI, ABI works hand in hand with Flightline. ABI works hand in hand with airframes because we have components on their components that they need our components to work so that theirs could actually work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a hand in hand job when it comes to that. So while like let's say a flightliner nug, a nug is a new guy in training. We call them nuggets.
Yeah.
Um, um, every single time, yeah, you'll see like a nugget. They always like getting they're like trying to recite like stuff that's only on their side, and like sometimes they have like a good like lance or a good corporal or something like that that's teaching them.
Hmm.
They'll teach other sides of the shops as well. Um, but when it comes to like airframes or flightline, they're only learning their components. While like myself, I had to be like well versed in their components as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not just I'm like pretty much like learning three shops worth of knowledge.
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I get you. Well, as a technician, then did you ever have to? I know that you would fly in the helicopter, but would you ever have to do flight tests with let's say, especially with the Hue, you will say, um, that after it's done, go up with it and basically go, this feels right, or there's something still off about it, or any that type of work with it, will say.
So at that stage, I won't fly with them. We do have called a flight observer.
Yeah.
That that is a qualification where you have to know the knowledge of every shop 100%, and
Right.
you actually have to do a full test for it. Um, actually, it's not called a flight observer. I'm sorry, it's the aerial observer (AO).
Right.
And once you demonstrate that you know all the knowledge, you'll actually get your own badge, and it's actually a set of wings.
Okay.
So at that stage, once you get aerial observer, you can become an air crew.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can actually go into that side as well, and you can go up and actually fly with the pilots, and like of course like shoot the weaponry.
Yeah.
But now we have birds that go to the testing phase after they will get up, and pretty much that's when whenever we have like some submarines, we call them troubleshooters, just hang by the bird, and then they just run their test. And then once everything is good via ground, then they'll go ahead and take off and do their flight tests and make sure everything is set. And then once it's set, the bird is good. Everything be signed off. Well, actually, not everything will already be signed off. If anything was bad, then they'll call in the troubleshooter to see if they can't fix the issue on the spot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too bad. So, like, it's not. Yeah, so they're basically you have a guy for every job there. It's not just, well, you're the mechanic. Like you would think a mechanic would have to get into a car, would say, and then test drive it to go, "Oh, yeah, this is working fine." You fix it, then there's a guy
Yeah.
then to make sure that it is physically working properly. And then he'll come back and
Yes.
go, "Look, there's something wrong here. Can you double check to make sure it's working again?" Like,
Yeah. So usually, you have the different levels of people who like look at something that you touch, especially if that bird isn't going to fly.
yeah,
Um, I'll have like a tool pouch with me, and it has all my tools. I have to make sure that it's fully ATAPed, and whenever I go in and out of their rotor arc, and um, there's always going to be a person who's going to look at my tool pouch whenever I go out. Usually, the pilot always likes to, if they're a good pilot, they'll always want to check your tool pouch before they start up. But
right,
sometimes pilots will just look over the issue that you did, or most of the time I'll just call in a CDI to just look over the area, make sure that it's cleared. So now it's not just only my specific eyes. Now it's the pilot's, or not, sorry, not pilot, the CDI's the eyes. Um, they're calling it clear, and then now the pilot is trusting that two people have seen that the area is clear.
yeah, yeah. So it's a double check more or less. It's kind of
Yeah,
a
it's
two stage
all
safety for all the world.
yeah, it's all safety when it comes to into being in the air wing. Like there's checks on checks on checks.
Yeah, yeah. And
It gets repetitive really fast.
I yeah, say it does, but like you know that it's there for a reason. It's like anything else when it
Yeah,
comes to like I even hear some of the lads over here when they complain about this, that, and the other, but then they'll be like, yeah, but I have to do it for a reason and it needs to be in place. But it just sucks that they have to do that every single time. When you're doing it long enough, you just know yourself, but you still need that
yeah,
extra person to sit there and go, no, you are good, or by the way, you forgot this. Don't do that again.
yeah. And sometimes you do forget, and sadly, in the Marine Corps, if you fuck up, then you get punished for it instead of like, oh, this is you need to learn a lesson about this. No, this is like punishment. Like you're gonna go on for like, if like let's say I fucked up towards the end of the shift, that next following day is just a full day of me getting fucked with, and it's just it'll be constant like all day, and then towards the end of the day, that's when they'll talk to you.
Um, Now you, because I've known you a few years now anyway. Um, you're into aircraft anyway, aren't you? In general.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm actually fascinated with aircraft. It's why my name. But yeah, played games that involved with flying all the time. Probably my first game that I've chose um, the aerial route was Ace Combat, and I believe it was Ace Combat 4, Shattered Skies. That's whenever I started falling in love with aircraft, and I always went to air shows a lot as a kid. Got to watch the Canadian Snowbirds, the Blue Angels, the uh, I'm forgetting the F-16 demo team,
Oh yeah, no,
the Air Force guys.
yeah, it's the Air Force, though.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
it's the Air
it's
Force for a reason. No one
yeah,
loves them.
exactly. But so did you ever think about while you were in going that route, pilot?
Becoming a pilot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought about it at one stage, but then I thought like, God, that's gonna be like too much for me like to feel like I want to accomplish because in order to be a pilot, you need to have graduated with at least a degree in college before even going into that field. And then by doing that, that means I have to commission and become an officer. And then
okay.
then after that, I have to go to pilot school. Well, no, I have to go to the basic school, which is the officers boot camp. and then from there go to like a bunch of other schools that they need to go to
Yeah.
in order just to become. And it wasn't going to be worth it because it takes like I think like I think maybe about 3 years
Okay.
of them to become a pilot or somewhere along those lines.
And what would you have done, fixed wing or rotor?
I honestly would love to have done fixed wing, but after seeing the rotor side, like as a mechanic, I think I would love to like stick with fixed wing because some shady shit can happen in fixed wing.
Right.
I'm sorry, not fixed wing in rotor.
Right. I
Yeah,
was explained by someone that helicopters naturally would just want to fall out of the sky. It's just a pilot's
yeah.
job to make sure it stays up there.
It's like if people that are listening to this don't know, helicopters defying gravity. They're not meant to fly. Period. So that's why the rotor on the top of the helicopter pushes all that force downwards to help it give lift. And if that main rotor is to seize up, you are now a falling like rock, pretty much. Think of
Yeah.
like a big like 1 ton freaking rock just dropping out of the sky.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Most helicopter crashes don't survive well.
Yeah, I've always seen that helicopters don't make it out unless they're so close to the ground that when they crash, it doesn't matter because they'll either belly flop or just roll to the side and that's it. But
Yeah,
anything that's really high, yeah, they're not. Like I don't know if you know much. Well, no, we won't even talk about the Apache. We'll say the Cobra. Does that have a eject type system? I know they're working on
both.
some sort of the rotors splinter off and then the pilots can get out that way, or is that just a
Nope.
movie thing that everyone thought about?
That's a movie thing. In both helicopters, there is no ejection
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So it's hope for the best and hopefully get out of it.
It's hope for the best. Hopefully, your pilot knows what he's doing. Luckily, with helicopters, there is such thing as auto rotation. Auto rotation is just your final effort for your helicopter to get down on the grounds, and it's going to still be a rough landing.
Yeah, yeah,
That's even then, it's just pray for the best. Hopefully, you make it out.
yeah, yeah.
I've been told a story before. I even got to my squadron that they sent out a helicopter from where I was stationed at over to 29 Palms up in Northern California, and apparently their crew that was over there, the squadron and their guys over there, um, they saw the helicopter coming, and then all of a sudden they just saw the rotors seized up, and the helicopter crashed. No one survived it. It's so yeah, it's like I wouldn't even say it's like a 50% chance that you would even live. It's probably like even lower than that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like, see, if you watch some of them where the people survive, they're that close to the ground that it wouldn't matter even if the engine just decided to shut off. They're just going to plop themselves on the ground. That's it.
Yeah,
Um, I've seen a few, especially CH-53 crashes on YouTube of them more or less out in the desert where the pilot then just couldn't see what he's doing, came down to the ground a bit too hard than he should have, and you just hear a bang and the whole thing on its side.
oh
Twice
Jesus.
actually, I've seen that.
CH-53. So it had its so the CH-53 had always has its gear down,
Yeah,
as you'll see the wheels. It has 3 wheels.
yeah,
Um, so he probably, as whenever he landed too hard, he probably snapped one of the landing gear, and that's when it just tipped over, and then caused the crash to happen.
so probably more or less one of the back 2 years then that caused the flip because the front wheel is sitting in the nose, isn't it?
No, I'm pretty sure that it's there's only one wheel on the back by the tail, and they have the two wheels up in the front.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. What the heck? Oh,
Because
I'm thinking of an
with
MIA.
yeah,
Never
with
mind.
helicopters, in order to turn, they use the tail to turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So whenever you think about imagine the what's the best way to put it? Um, if you were to stick out your finger and act like you're holding a gun with like your thumb up and your pointer finger straight forward,
Yeah.
now take your middle finger and just extend it, pointing it to the left. Then you should have three of your fingers pointing in different directions.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, like let's say if you grab your thumb with your other hand and twist it left and right, that's your rotation. That's
Oh,
your
I
yaw.
get it. Yeah.
So your yaw is your change of direction.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's what the tail rotor is for you to change your direction.
I 100% see someone doing. After listening to that, they're like, "Oh yeah, I see where he's getting at there."
Yeah, it's actually something that was taught in my school. I was taught if you just do this, you can never forget what is what.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you already grab your middle finger and move it up and down, that's your pitch. Now if you grab
Okay.
your pointer finger and turn it left and right, that's going to be your roll.
Right. Okay. Like, is there different? I know there'd be different levels of qualification for stuff there, school wise, as you would for mechanics or electrical work or whatever the case is. But if you went off and did just the basic course or basic, how do I put it? The let's say the first rung on the ladder for your job, we'll say, could you stay at that, or is it a case of no, once you finish that first rung, you have to go to the next one in order to keep going upwards to then get not fully qualified, but you have to be an all rounder nearly, if that makes sense.
So when it comes to that, probably a better way to put it. Um, so with my schooling, I have an A school and a C school. My A school is where I learned to be a basic electrician,
Right.
and learn the basic stuff, like learn what a schematic looks like, learn what this component does, uh, down to the science of it.
Yeah.
And they stopped doing it as far as I know. But whenever I first got to my school, I had to go into like a little mini first class before I actually got to go into the science of components and learning it on like a little mock aircraft.
Yeah.
Um, I actually had to work on little circuit boards,
Okay.
and I passed and I demonstrated my skills off of the circuit boards. That's when I went to the science of it. That's when I went to. We have different levels of aviation. We got three levels of being a technician, and at least the Marine Corps. I don't know about the other branches, so I can't really speak
Yeah.
for them. But we have O level, which is the basic level where you work on the aircraft. 8E is Alpha Echo, which is the ones who actually will do like wire repair or a higher level of repair.
Yeah.
And then you have your eye level. Your eye level is the smart nerdy kids who know what they're doing and they actually do internal repair for equipment.
Right. Okay.
But luckily, helicopter squadrons, we only have two levels. So you have your eye level guy still, but your O level actually does AE level as well. So
Right.
that's why I know wire repair, is
Ah. Okay.
because we are able to do it.
Not too bad then. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
basically, would you say that they're a little bit not more qualified, but I suppose they can do the job of two other people in for the other part would do, like that they do two jobs in one, we'll say, compared to it'll be three different jobs for people.
yeah, in a way.
Not too bad then. Like, because like I said, rotor, fixed wing will fly. There's all this aerodynamic stuff that goes on that's like, yes, this thing will fly, but rotor is a case of it will fly, but we have to make sure it stays up there. So there's an awful lot,
Yeah,
I would say an awful lot more, not technical, but an awful lot more, um,
there's a lot more work that goes into
yeah,
it to make sure that the aircraft stays. And these
yeah,
aircraft don't like to stay up most of the time.
yeah, you know. But yeah, like I said, I love rotor. I don't know what it is about rotor. I think it's the fact you can just plonk it anywhere that you want, more or less,
Yeah,
and go from there.
it's like in
Uh,
the middle of a forest or anything like that.
yeah, exactly.
We'll set it down here.
Besides Marine Corps helos, have you been inside any other helicopters flying around?
Um, so I have been on a MV-22 Osprey, and I have also been in a. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I have not been in an Osprey. I think I've only walked into one.
Yeah,
Really, I've been in a CH-53, our Stallion.
I'd be surprised if no
Um,
Marine has ever stepped foot inside one of them.
yeah, and I've had not a scary experience with it, but my experience is definitely one to remember. So whenever you like get in this thing, and once you take off, I swear it's like it has like a vortex when it picks up, like the wind shifts all inside.
Right.
And I was flying over Okinawa, and we were flying out to go out on our ship, and we saw as we went over the edge of the base that something fell off of the
Right.
aircraft, and we're just like, what was that? And we just like thought nothing else of it. It was like, okay, whatever. Hopefully we'll survive. And then as we were landing onto the ship, that vortex comes back. So like it goes away in the flight, but whenever it comes back, um, my buddy who was sitting to the right of me, the window that was behind him to his back right, just one seat over, it shattered, and like a huge piece of just this window landed on his lap. And she looked at me and was just like, "What the fuck do I do with this?" I was like, "Oh no, give it to the crew chief or some shit." We started laughing. It's just like, "Man, we're about to die, aren't we?" Like, "Yeah, probably." It was an experience, and again, as I said, I'm never gonna forget that.
Yeah. I tell you, we have I don't know if you know them. They're AW139s, are our military helicopters, and
I don't think
and
I've actually seen one of those.
yeah, they're I think they're an Italian made helicopter, and I remember the news article, was it here last year, of the Air Corps obviously doing an awful lot of flying because their main base is up near or up in Dublin. And obviously you're going to see an awful lot of aircraft and helos flying around the place and whatnot up there. And
Okay.
someone, I think it was either their back garden or it was a laneway between the houses, walked out, and here was one of the 139's doors just planted in the ground. It fell off
Oh
mid-flight.
shit.
I was just sitting there, and everyone, of course, making fun of it, going, "Ah, look, yeah, it's cheap as chips, sure, the door just fell off. That's what happened, whatever else." And then they put kind of like an ombudsman in just to see what happened, and it came out it's not the first time a door's fell off on the helicopters and landed in someone's back garden.
Yeah,
um,
that happens a lot in Okinawa. Um, that's why the Okinawans were trying to force the Marines off out of one area,
yeah,
and we're like making a whole new base. So there was, or at least still in the works. But yeah. So what they do is they'll put a lot of homes and schools all around the edge of the airfield,
yeah,
so that whenever we take off and all that stuff, if stuff falls down, like if anything period drops off of an aircraft,
Yeah.
is a international incident at that stage. Like
Oh, jeez.
it gets super huge.
Yeah.
That's why whenever I went flying over Okinawa, we were briefed and told to do not have your phones out, do not have everything stowed away in your pockets, and wait until you're above the ocean before you pull anything out. Because if it lands somewhere, and even if it's a phone, it could be counted as an international incident.
And Okinawa would
It's
just have the Marines on it, wouldn't it? There's no army. Army would be on in Korea, wouldn't it?
no, so we actually have every branch, and including Coast Guard. I'm pretty sure
Oh, right. Okay.
out there. Yeah.
I thought it was just the Marines because I know you have an army base in South Korea, wherever that is in South Korea. I just presume because the Pacific is, the Pacific is year theater nearly, isn't it, compared to the armies? Like history
so we
says
did
that
actually
Marines
still have Army. Yeah, in history during World War II, Army actually did show up there as well. They just didn't have as big as a big of a presence being there than like what the Marines did.
Yeah. It's good to know some of these things, like, cause like,
Yeah.
like we all look at these videos and we're like, oh yeah, look, the Marines are training with the Australians, or oh look at this, the Marines are in Okinawa doing this, that, and the other, or wherever else they are in the world doing stuff. But it's
most of the time you'll see you've probably seen like the iconic photo of like Marines in the forest in Taiwan, and they're drinking the blood of that snake.
yeah.
That's actually part of oh god, is I forget the operations name, but pretty much it's just a jungle warfare and jungle survival is what is what at least the infantry go through their training.
Yeah, you're probably lucky in that sense. Then you just fix aircraft. Don't have to do any of that shit.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't want to be in a jungle full of fucking snakes and all that shit.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't care if I need to eat it. Fuck it, that thing can bite me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll throw a wrench at it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're probably worse if they send a load of mechanics out there in the jungle. Most lads will shoot everything. You just find the nearest heavy object and just toss that and go, that's it, call it a day, lads.
Toss it and just hope for the best that I
hit it. Yeah. Yeah. I know it's like I said, it's good to hear the different sides of it, because like most people it's just like, oh yeah, the infantry do this. I said it's nice to hear a different aspect of it, that especially the helicopter side of things, mechanical wise.
Yeah, airwing is a whole different world.
Yeah, I always say it is 100%. Like it, look at anything else. People will just go, oh, that's a tank, or that's a vehicle, but like an awful lot of people know, if you're into the military, they're like, oh, that's such and such a helicopter, or that's such and such a helicopter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like we just know.
No, it's nice to hear another side of it compared to just the usual stuff. Yeah, no, thanks for sharing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I have loads of other stories.
Oh, 100%. What I was asking lads to do at one stage is get you back and do another. We actually get lads, because lads were actually interested in asking you questions and stuff. Just about anything about the Marine Corps, anything that you knew about the Marine Corps, or just helicopters dropping from the sky. How possible? Very possible. So possible it's happened.
It is. It's so possible it happens, and it happens randomly if we're not safe.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, we'll definitely get you back, and we'll definitely do, if we're able to do a live stream. If not, I'll just get him to give me a bunch of questions to ask, and see what we can do from there.
Do a part 2.
Part 2, exactly. But no, thanks for coming along, man.
Yeah, of course.
Glad
to be here.
We'll do it again soon.